On this side, I just added the same script stamp that I used here over here. Man, do I need a manicure. So now I'm going to drip some paint down. I want some to run into this texture paste a little bit before I do anything else. So I'm going to use burnt umber in the, again, same as what I used in the background, burnt umber fluid acrylic, just because it's already juicy. And I need a round brush. This one holds a lot of water. Get my brush real wet in the paint. I'm just going to go along here first, and then I will tip the book up and add some more water. Hopefully we'll get some decent drippage here. More water. There we go. Hoping you can see what I'm doing. I can knead it over here onto that towel so it doesn't totally, come on, drip for me. There we go. Get this wet before it is too dry. Try not to go over that, I just kind of like the way that looks, but and I could do this with a spray bottle. I just don't feel like I have quite as much control when I spray it, like a drip down that center part. Although that is where I put the tape. I don't know if that's a good idea, but there it goes. I really did get that off the bottom. Wanted it to go into here, and it's not really wanting to. Dripping everywhere but. There we go. A little more right here on this one. Okay. I love me some drips. I usually kind of just blot the bottom, the very bottom. Alright. I think it instantly adds age and just an interesting background element. Fast and easy. Get this paint up before I sit my journal in it. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to hit it real quick with hairdryer. Alright, that's dry. Now I have this cabinet card that I want to put on here. I want some of those papers to show, so I think I'm going to put it like right there, and then I'm going to put this underneath somehow and have it come across there a little bit. I'll scrunch it up the way I want it when I go to glue it down, but something to that effect. Just kind of peeking out, and then I can put something on top of it over on that side. But obviously we need to do something with that frame. I already sanded the edges. If you can see, the corners. I rounded the corners off and kind of sanded the edges of it. But I think I'm just going to try brown Stabilo first and see if that doesn't bring it a little closer to this background. It's not terrible. I mean, I do have some lightness here and there in the background. So maybe I'll just hit this very outside edge. I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm just going to do it lightly first. I don't get too carried away right away. But Stabilo, if you haven't worked with Stabilo, they come in several colors. I just have the brown and the black, and I use them all the time. They're great for this kind of thing, or going around the edges of your pages or cards. They're water soluble. The only drawback is that they remain water soluble, so you just have to be mindful of that. If you're going to put wet media on top of it, it's best to use it toward the end of a project if you're going to do something like this, and then you know, less of a chance of reactivating it and doing something that you didn't really want to do. And what I like to do is just have a fresh baby wipe next to me and just dab my finger on the baby wipe. That's like just enough, and you have to do it often, I mean, but I find that that gives me the best control in smearing it or activating it. You know, you don't have to activate it. It will still remain water soluble whether you activate it or not. But I'm hoping you're seeing this okay. I kind of had it tipped up towards me so I could see what I was doing. And with like all old paper, the more you rub, you see all the little bits of paper that's rubbing up because the paper's so old. But that doesn't hurt anything as long as you're not, like, you know, rubbing like you're trying to dig your way to China. You'll be alright. Yeah, see, that's better already. Just brings it more into the line of the color of the page. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. This is embossed right here around them. I'm just going to hit the embossed part. Maybe. Just want it to look, I mean, it is old, but I just want it to look a little grungier, like it's been laying in somebody's attic for a while, which it probably has. These are instant relatives, nobody I know. They're cute little guys. And I'm debating in my mind whether I want to put some sort of embellishments. I thought about grommets, but this book is already getting so thick it doesn't want to close, and I've got a lot of pages, so I'm probably going to end up taking a lot of pages out, unfortunately. I really hate to do that, but if it makes the book more usable, then Ooh, I kind of like that. That just happened when I flipped that up. I kind of like that, the way that goes. So I'm not quite sure. You get sick of me hearing me say that. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe not. Just kind of the way I work. But it usually ends up okay in the end. So, and I like the way this is looking across this whole spread of the tiered pages. I think it's okay by me. So I'm going to start rummaging through my stash and see if I can find something that's just right for these corners. Maybe I will try grommets. I probably don't have anything that will go with the page color wise. I don't have any just silver or gold. I have mostly colored ones, which I don't think I want. So yeah, I'm going to leave you for a few and go dig around and see if I can come up with anything. If not, we'll paint something on there. I think I found something I can use in the corner of here. I went in my stash. There's so much in there, but anyways, I found these, I don't know, what do you call them, where these spread apart, studs or whatever. And I thought, oh, they're kind of modern looking, although the type is, you know, it's like a serif type. It kind of looks old. But so what I decided to do, and maybe you can see the difference, I just took some fine sandpaper, and can you see that? I just scratched them up. And now what I'm going to do is put them in a container and put some alcohol ink. I have Adirondak alcohol ink in Latte. Really old, but should still work. But I'm just going to squirt some in there. I'm probably off camera. I squirted some in there, and I'm just going to mix them up and leave them sit there for a minute. Those two are stuck together. Now I'm going to get ink all over my hands. I'm just going to let them sit for a minute, and hopefully that will age them enough to where they'll look okay on there. And I'm pretty sure I have, I don't know, maybe half of the alphabet here, but a lot of duplicates, so I must have used these. I made purses way back when, and leather cuffs, and I think I used a lot of those when I was doing that, because I have like X's and W's and G's, and I needed, I mean, I didn't have to spell a word. I could have just put random letters there and it probably would have looked okay, but I had the O-V-E, but I'm pretty sure my L is a 1, a number 1, but I don't care. It'll look fine, and in my book it's going to be an L. So, alright, I'm going to grab my tweezers because my hands are already awful. I mean, this, I don't think they're going to get any darker just by sitting. Oh yeah, look. So if they just dry like that, hope you can see that. If they just dry like that, I will be happy. So I'm just going to take them out and sit them on my mat and just let them dry. And I mean, it's alcohol ink. It should only take a few minutes, I would think. And then I can put them on the picture. Okay, move this before I spill it, because that would be something that I would do. And again, this video is getting pretty long, so I may end up just going back to where I finished here and doing part 2 there and making this part 3, because the way I work, it has a tendency to make videos long because I'm starting and stopping and figuring things out and just kind of playing a lot of the time, experimenting. So I'm sorry. Some of my videos do get long. I hope they don't bore you. I try to cut out a lot of the extraneous chit-chat and stuff that's really not pertinent whenever I can to make them shorter. Alright, I'm going to measure and put holes where I want to put those brads. By that time they should be dry enough that I can add those. Okay, the brads are in. I probably need to cover those maybe. And then I went for a different piece of cheesecloth. I wanted something that had more variation in color. It's real dark here and it's lighter there. So I grabbed that instead of the other piece that I had. And kind of placed it and just tacked it down with the super heavy gel. I kind of like these tags here. I will put something on those. And then this is going to go, that one keeps getting stuck. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to bring the cheesecloth up onto the frame here a little bit. And I think it's going to go right there. And then I have this small set of Prima cling stamps. Hopefully you can see that. But there's a little bird in here and some little like travel type. Maybe you can see it better on here. Oh, there's the bird. So I'm going to I think I'm going to put the bird down here, right on the picture, and then it kind of ties in with this bird over here. And then I'm going to just use some of these really small little stamps and just randomly stamp them around the border of the picture, hoping I don't regret it, but I think it'll look okay. I mean, you can tell with the acetate, the bird's going to look okay there. And then I like this, it says Cartagena Transfer. They just fit so cute in here that I just think they need to be there. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use black, I think, because it'll tie in with, we've got the black here and the black here and the black in there. I thought about using brown, but I think it needs to be black. And then this is pretty much done. I need to figure out what words I want to put on the tags, and I still wanted to put a word over here on the picture, or on the page with the bird, but I don't know what word I want yet, so that'll come later. So we're on the last leg of this, people. Finally, right? Are you totally sick of me by now? I hope not. This has been a fun spread. I mean, coming from, oh, I think I'll cut these pages, and then having no idea where I was going to go after that, to this, and I really like this. So I'm happy with it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. So I'm going to do this stamping, and maybe I'll come up with some words, and then I will be back to show you the absolute final finished piece. Okay, it's done. Yay! So a couple things that I did off camera. I found this Live Simply, so that went on there. I laced some brown ribbon through those holes, and I may do the same thing over here, but I would rather have a different color, I think, so I'm going to look for a different color. And then I put Family Where Life Begins and Love Never Ends on this tag, and this is a dictionary definition of journey on this tag. That's going to have to get glued down better. And then I didn't glue this down yet, because as soon as I glue it down, I am going to weight it with something, because it's going to take a good long time for that to dry. But that's going to go right there, and I did stamp around the edges, and I really like that. Kind of brings everything together. So that's where we're at. We finally made it to the end. Thanks for sticking with me. If you enjoyed watching this process, give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And in the meantime, go make some art. Bye.